I talked about a whole bunch of herbs on my last live that you may not necessarily have access to, but something that I know you have access to. I've seen it in abundance in the stores because why would people be going to buy this? But ginger. Simple ginger. Something really, really accessible in the store. You can usually find it for like maybe $2.99 a pound or so at your local grocery store. Buy it fresh. This is ginger root. And it's a phenomenal herb for a lot of different reasons. Some of its most kind of purported proponents are digestion. So ginger is really good in helping to stimulate your digestive juices, get your digestion going. It helps to like get rid of gas and just any issues that you may be having, nausea. It's really, really great for pregnant women that are dealing with morning sickness. When you're traveling, if you're someone who gets sick on an airplane, ginger candies or ginger drinks. And we know in our community, ginger ale is the holy grail, right? People say, you're not feeling well, let me get you some ginger ale, lay down. And generally, you start to feel better later on. And that's not for nothing. It does have properties that are really great for the body. It's anti-inflammatory, so if you are dealing with a cough or asthma, things like that, this is really great to help to calm those things by helping to take down inflammation in the lungs or the sinuses or whatever. Yes, upgrade to ginger beer. That's right. A little less sugar, a little more potent. So it's good for helping to calm cough when it comes to inflammation. It's good for arthritis, so helping to fight against inflammation of the joints. It's good for helping to calm like cramps when you have that time of the month. It's good for calming that down. So ginger is kind of one of those herbs that's just a phenomenal tonic to help your body when it comes to inflammation, when it comes to digestion. And we know, hey, that digestion is so important when it comes to helping us to absorb all of the nutrients that we need from all of our vegetables anyway, right? So we talked about getting vitamin C, we talked about getting vitamin A and vitamin D, and we need for our digestion to be working properly in order for our cells to be able to uptake all of that stuff. So this is a really great tonic for that. It also can help to fight against viruses by helping to heat up the body, right? So we know that when you have a virus, you get a bacteria, your body will naturally heat up and you get a fever. And we talked about this a little bit to help make it an inhospitable place for those viruses. You too, thank you. Make it an inhospitable place for those viruses to survive. Ginger helps the body to do that naturally and not in a way that's harmful. Right, so of course, if you already have a fever, let's be clear about that. Ginger tea may not be the best idea for you, but just in the idea of helping to prevent, right, before we get to that point, this is something that's really good to have on a regular basis because it does that heating of the body and helps that energy get to flowing. Sometimes you hear about it called chi. It helps to get that kind of moving and warm to make it inhospitable for viruses to live. So, how do we use it? What do you do with this gnarly looking thing here? Let's figure that out. So, I've got my ginger. And usually when I make a cup of ginger tea for myself, I use about a 1-inch piece. And I just use kind of the old age method of using the segments of my finger. So, I'll cut a piece off. That's about the size of the top segment of my index finger. And so that's just about this right here. And so when you cut ginger, you're leaving a piece of it exposed after you're done with it. This piece is going to harden up in order to protect everything else that's inside. So when you want to go back and use it again, you can just kind of slice off that hardened up piece and the rest of the flesh on the inside will be just as wet and soft and full of awesome antioxidants and things as it was. It smells so good. So we've got our piece of ginger, and I'm just going to slice it into small, like, discs. It's not necessary to peel it for this. Just slice it into small discs so that you can get as much as of that surface area as you like. Another way to do this is to grate it, but if you grate it, once you're done, you're either going to have to strain it out using something, or you can choose to eat it as well. That's that's good for your body too. But yeah, cut it into small discs. Coming over, I'm going to put my ginger slices into the water, bring it to a boil, and then I'll bring it down to a simmer and let it simmer for about 5 minutes. And you can simmer it even longer, up to 10 minutes if you like. The longer you simmer it, the stronger it's going to get. And if you ever had ginger in cuisine or anything, you know it's kind of got that fiery, peppery taste. So just be careful. If you can't handle it being too kind of peppery and strong, then simmer it for a less amount of time, or you can simmer it for a longer amount of time.
Someone asks, if you don't peel your ginger, is it necessary to rinse or wash?
Yes. So my ginger, I've already taken care of that. But yeah, you can wash it, especially if it's kind of just been sitting at the grocery store. And then before you put it away, I would dry it with a cloth or a paper towel so that you don't have water sitting on it. But yes, you should definitely wash it. So that's going to take up a little bit of time. And yeah, you can do a lot of different things with this. You can make juices with it. I love like a pineapple ginger orange or a carrot orange ginger. Those are really great ways to get those ingredients too. You can juice it. Ginger with apple juice is phenomenal. It's great in cuisines if you're making like a stir fry, any type of Indian dish or Asian inspired dish. Ginger tastes really good in that. So I hear my water starting to boil. I see the little bubbles coming up to the bottom, which means that the water's boiling. What happens when the water boils? It turns into what?
Steam.
Right, and is the steam a liquid, a solid, or a gas?
Gas.
Hey! Homeschool. That's that homeschooling. So I'm going to turn it down to low and let it simmer. Let's not bother that. Let it simmer for the next 5 minutes or so. And in the meantime, some of the things I like to add to my ginger tea, I keep it really, really simple. So we're going to add a lemon. Lemon's going to get us some of that vitamin C that we've been talking about. So having that in there will add a little bit of acidity, and it'll also, having those digestive tonics there will help our bodies uptake this vitamin C even better. And I'm going to add some honey with it too, which is really great for antibacterial, antiviral, and a wonderful sweetener as well. Oh, okay. Tell them what you want to tell me.
Even follow my mom. She's the best.
This was not scripted. Thank you, Carter. Appreciate it. So yeah, we're going to have our lemon and we're going to have our honey. And with your ginger tea, you can add other things too. If you have other herbs at your disposal, sometimes I like to add astragalus, which is just another really great immune boosting tea, boosting your liver function and all kinds of functions as well. You can add hibiscus. You can add a little bit of peppermint because you get that cooling and that heating at the same time. You can do all kinds of stuff. But if you don't have access to those things, just the ginger tea on its own, maybe with a little lemon or just with a little bit of honey, or nothing at all. If you're somebody that just wants the medicinal properties and nothing, clouding that, it's a really great thing that you can just kind of keep on tap. You can even make a big batch of it. I usually do about a 1-inch piece, like we talked about, that finger length or segment length piece per 8 ounces of water. So if you want to make a bigger batch, sweeten it out, put it in the fridge, or keep it out on the counter for a couple of hours before you refrigerate it. That's a really great way to use it as well.
Somebody said they started adding ginger to their juicing.
Yes, that's phenomenal. So it's really going to help your digestive juices flow in your body to help uptake all of the nutrients that are coming from all of the fruits and vegetables that you're juicing. Yeah, I love ginger, especially with like pineapple and orange. It's top notch. So I think we're about ready. Let me grab my cutting board so we can cut up our lemon. I'm gonna grab the pot and bring it over. And you can smell it. It smells good. You can smell how that ginger has really diffused out into the water. And I have a little straining teapot here. It's got like a mesh strainer in the middle. But if you don't have one of these, that's okay. The ginger slices are big enough that you can just take them out yourself. So I'm going to pour this through. And you can see a little bit that the water has taken on kind of a really light, sunny golden color. And that's how you know the herbs are working, right? This is one of the most ancient forms of magic. There's something to me about making tea that just really grounds me. Like, this is one of those things that from the beginning of time, people have been doing. People have been steeping herbs, foods, grasses, resins in hot water to transform them to do something else. And so, like I was talking about earlier, you know, this making tea is one of those practices for me that's not only just beneficial to our health, but just the ritual of it. I find so much like peace in that. I find peace in gathering my herbs and putting them in the tea bag and waiting for the water to boil, waiting for it to steep, watching the water change color. All those things are really like, they're just magical to me. So if nothing else, you can do this as a way to bring some just very simple magic and peace into your home, into yourself, whatever you want to do, or however you want to call it to yourself. We've got our ginger tea brewing here. I'm going to go ahead and slice up just a little bit of lemon. Excuse me, Carter Steele. Just a little bit of lemon. I'm going to take like 2 small slices.
Maybe let's slice one for Carter. That's the only reason why she's here.
That's why she's standing here. There you go. You're welcome. And we're going to put this in with our ginger tea. And let that steep a little bit. And then I'm going to sweeten it with honey. And we'll have something beautiful. I wish that I could like let you all taste it so that you could see, you know, how well it works and tell me if you like it or not. So I try not to go ham with the honey. Probably add about a teaspoon and a half to my tea. And then it'll be ready to drink. And yeah, that was all I really wanted to share with you all today. Teas right now are phenomenal because they help keep mucus at bay. They help to keep like warm liquids, soups, teas, water at room temperature. All those type of things right now are really, really good at helping to combat this virus because of the amount of mucus that it causes your body to produce. So honey, lemon, ginger, all these things that help to break that up, to keep your immune system functioning at a high rate, and just to keep mucus from collecting and hardening in your body are going to be good. So I would try to incorporate some kind of tea, even if it's not ginger, or some kind of soup at least once a day. This was super easy to make. I hope that you enjoyed hanging out with me today.
Lovely Love said your teas are amazing.
Well, thank you. I really enjoy making them, as you can tell. Looks pretty. It's so simple, but so magical. And I hope you guys are staying safe out there. Washing your hands, staying antiviral, drinking water. So, yeah, maybe we'll just do this on a regular basis. I really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. Send me your questions. I'd love to know what you want to know about. If there's something you had in the back of your shelf for a long time, or your grandma or your auntie told you about something, an old like folk remedy from a minute ago that you want to learn about, or anything. You've heard something on the internet that you want to like check into. Let's chat about it. I'll be here. You should be there. We should all be around, staying home for the most part. So this was cool. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Even follow my mom. She's the best.